right, what's up everybody? Thanks for clicking this video. Thanks for tuning into our channel. My name's Simon Hill and I'm here with my beautiful, lovely, sexy wife. Who are you?
I'm AKDI.
Yes. And this is our daily Sunday, well not daily.
Weekly.
Yeah, weekly. I'm already lit. I even forgot my wine glass over here, but this is our Sunday tradition of chopping it up with the people on this live stream content. We were having some connection issues, so we can't do it with the separate screens, but we look good together like this, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah? All right, so we're only gonna be here 1 hour and then we're gonna go off and do something else. But we're gonna talk about a topic today that I think is cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're going to talk about sex. Yeah. We're going to talk about, how important is it to, maintain that spark, that flame, that romance in a marriage. So I don't know. In my opinion, I think sex is important in a marriage, but it shouldn't be the ultimate thing. And I think there's a lot of times the longer you stay married, maybe the less emphasis you put on it.
Yeah.
And I don't know. What do you think?
I mean, obviously, yeah, I do think it's important because it is sort of like, an activity that you do together.
Yeah.
Very common.
Yeah.
Or at least like you try to do it pretty regularly or something like that. And
Yeah.
it's like, it takes a relationship to another level, especially if it's like good sex that you're having. And, but I do agree with you. Like, it shouldn't be like the focal point of the relationship, but at the same time, it is very important. Like, I couldn't imagine myself being with someone that I don't enjoy that experience with.
Yeah. But I think you and I disagree on this because we were speaking about this before on camera. I think it's not that important to have sex with somebody before you get married or before you get into a relationship.
Yeah.
Because in my opinion, most of the time, good sex is just having good chemistry and romance and feelings for that person.
Yeah.
And maybe, if you jump into that before the marriage, sometimes you can think, oh, we have chemistry and romance just because we're sexually compatible. Not really, just because you have that romantic part down.
Okay, I understand that might create sort of a disillusion, but at the same time, maybe it's because of my culture, because in Turkish culture, it's pretty much oppressed. And so you're not supposed to have sex before marriage in the Turkish culture and stuff like that. And I think that's why maybe I believe that it's important to do it before you get married, because how else are you going to know that you're compatible with that person, that you have chemistry? If you like the same things, if you don't like the same things, maybe he likes some weird stuff that he can't give up and you don't really like that. Obviously for little things you can make adjustments.
Right.
If your partner has a certain fantasy, maybe, you can try it or something like that. But there are some things that, maybe you're not willing to do. And how would you know if you don't,
Yeah, but I think, shouldn't you be able to flesh that out with that person by talking to them? I'm saying if you're dating somebody or in a relationship with somebody, you can't talk about sex and figure out what you like. You know what I mean? I'm not that Puritan. I don't want anybody to think, oh, Simon's some conservative Muslim or anything like that. No, if you want to have sex before marriage, do that. That's okay. But I don't feel like it's mandatory or necessary, because you can talk to that person and figure out, okay, she's into some weird stuff or he's into weird stuff, and we don't need to be doing that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but you can't talk you can maybe talk about your fantasies, but you can't know if you have chemistry with that person, just by talking to them.
Right.
And I feel I've had those, for example, this happened to me a couple of times where I would kiss a guy or something like that, and it would be great, but then when I have, when I'm with them, having sex and whatnot, it was not enjoyable, and it didn't make sense in my head, because I'm how are you a good kisser but suck at sex? Or maybe they didn't suck at sex and we just didn't have that chemistry.
But don't you think people can learn? A guy can get better? You know what I mean?
Learning is something else, but I'm talking about chemistry, and maybe I'm putting too much emphasis on it, but to me it's important. And it just hits different when you have that chemistry with that person, and it's even better when you have love for that person.
Right. I think, you know, at least for me, I'm going to talk about my personal stuff. Like when I first get with a girl, and you can attest, maybe, you know, when I first get with somebody, I usually can't finish. I usually, you know, the thing gets hard, everything's working correctly, but I can't, you know, bust off, you know, because for me, it takes some time for me to get with somebody and trust them and, you know, just open up in that way. Because
Yeah.
when you come as a man, like you're hella vulnerable. Like you're like, you know, you go, you get what I'm saying?
I wish I had that luxury. Normally, it takes me like 10 times.
Really? Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
because
Well,
it's already hard enough for a girl to come. So
yeah. I mean, it's, you know, it's different, but like the pressure is on us to finish because sometimes girls don't feel. If you don't finish with a girl, sometimes she feels bad, and she
yeah,
feels like, oh, I must not be good or whatever. And you know, the pressure is on us to like not only perform but also bust.
yeah.
And
No,
so,
I understand because like as women, we are taught to like societally, we are taught to please the men. So if that doesn't happen, then we feel like we're not giving enough pleasure, and then it makes us self-conscious.
right. But we also have pressure too because we feel like girls talk about us. Like if you if you sleep with a girl and get with her, and she's definitely gonna tell her friends, tell her, you know, close circle, and we want to have a good name on our, you know, on our thing. And so as a man, you're thinking like, I don't want to get played. I don't want to be known as Lil Dick Simon in her friend group. You know
Wow.
what I mean?
Wow.
You know.
First of all, you shouldn't be concerned with that because you're never gonna bang my friends.
No, but you talk about that to your friends.
Yeah, of course. I
Exactly.
feel like every girl does.
Exactly. And you don't want to, you know, have that name out there on you.
Yeah, no, I understand it. I mean, don't guys do the same? Isn't that what locker like talk is all about? Locker
Yeah,
room
no.
talk?
I mean, guys do talk about, you know, who they slept with, who they got with, and stuff like that. But I feel like y'all go into much more detail about it. Like
Yeah.
we say, yeah, I hit that as
Yeah.
as like a check or a score.
Yeah, because it's like for us, tell me, girl, how did you come? Because I need to come too. Or like, you know, we share tips and tricks and stuff like that
Yeah.
because we want to, I guess, like, especially at this age, women are becoming like more selfish when it comes to sex, and
Yeah.
they're like, oh, like we deserve to, you know, have pleasure too and not just only give pleasure.
Yeah.
So now, like, I don't know if it's the same with everyone, but like with my friends, it's like, you know, first, obviously, we want to know if our friend is having a good time in the bedroom, like, you know, because it's not worth it.
But taking it back, you know, like I said, like for me, I don't open up that easily when I first get with somebody. And you said, you know, having chemistry is important. But I think you can develop like chemistry over time, like the same way you develop more love for somebody over time. Like I love you more every day. And the thing is, like we become, I believe, more intertwined as we get older and grow together and do things together, build
Yeah.
memories. So I think the same can also be true for sex. Like when you first have sex with somebody the first time, it might not be the best sex you've ever had. If it is, that's even more of a plus, and maybe y'all have a lot in common.
Yeah.
But maybe it takes some more time because, you know, we had a good chemistry when we started, but I didn't bust until like maybe like 4 or 5 times in. You get what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah. No, I mean, definitely, like, you know, as time moves on, I feel more comfortable with you, and that part becomes more enjoyable for me because now I'm just comfortable around you being myself. But I don't know, like, maybe this is just like my, you know, princess idea or something, like the fairy tale idea, but I, like, if I'm not compatible, like sexually compatible with that person, or if I don't have chemistry, I don't want to feel like I have to force it. You know, I just need that sort of like spark, honestly, to be able to continue. Now, like, it's easy for me to say that because, like, very luckily that we have good chemistry in that
Yeah.
way. So I don't have to like do anything extra in
Right.
order to like, you know, bring passion. But I don't know what would I do if I, you know, didn't enjoy like having sex with you when we first started. I mean, most
Okay.
possibly, like being complete 100% honest, like I think I would still like, you know, date you and stuff like that, but I don't know if I would take it to the next level.
Right.
Because it's
if
like
I
first impressions,
if I
you
came
know?
to you and was like, I'm waiting till marriage, you wouldn't take me seriously.
No, no, like obviously I wouldn't force you to like have sex with me. That's like
But no, be
sexual
honest, be
assault.
honest. Our relationship probably wouldn't go further because that's important to you. It's important to you to, be with somebody romantically,
I mean,
physically.
like yeah, like if you told me that you wanted to wait until marriage, I probably wouldn't want to do that, but it depends on like okay, so if we're dating for like 3 months and I really like you and you really like I'm really thinking about a serious relationship with you and maybe even marriage, maybe like I would be like, okay,
Yeah, no.
we'll do like other stuff, but not have sex.
Right. And I might sound like a hypocrite for saying this, but that's never how I lived my life. I never lived my life when I was single and dating by saying stuff like, I need to wait till marriage before I have sex or whatever. Like, I didn't do
Yeah.
that. But what I'm saying is, like, if maybe it would have been better for me because sometimes, you can be outside having sex with people and getting caught up in stuff like that and not really building bonds with people, not really getting to know them. You could be more focused on busting a nut than actually trying to, build bonds and find out what you actually like and getting to know that person. Gonna jump into some comments real quick. We had one person who jumped in here. All right, this is Vlad. He just gave I think that's a Romanian flag, an Irish sign, and a detective sign. So maybe he's a detective from Romania. I'm not Andrew Tate. She is not kidnapped. This is my wife. So we're just talking, chilling with y'all. But yeah, man, when it comes to like sex in a marriage, at least, I think that's where we are in it. And like I can say, like I think we have a pretty healthy sex life, but I feel like maybe I can do better with like being like more romantic and like more like foreplay and like stuff like that. And I think
Yeah.
I think having sex sometimes does like take away a lot of the stress because sometimes we'll have like a fight or an argument or something like that, or we feel maybe disconnected because you're at school and I'm at work and stuff
Yeah.
like that, and that time is special for us to bond and be together. But I feel like I need to improve on that. But what do you think?
I mean, the thing is like, yeah, like of course romantic gestures and things like that are important and they add a special flavor to that time. But they're not like every time we have sex, I don't expect like romance. Sometimes like a quickie is enough and that's what I need and that's what I want, like and that's it. But yeah, like every once in a while it would be nice to have like a nice gesture, I don't know, candle, some massage, and you do that sometimes, so I don't think like you're bad at doing that. But yeah, like foreplay is important for women, not as in like, okay, let's have foreplay for 40 minutes, but it's like at least you need like a 10-minute foreplay to get us going,
Yeah.
so that it will be enjoyable on both sides and you won't need lubricant.
One of the best things about foreplay, if as a man, if you do it, and this is something that I find fun, is like overdoing the foreplay. So like you're like kissing her, rubbing her and stuff like that for like a good 20, 30 minutes, and then she gets really hot. She's like, I want it. And you're like, no, you're not getting nothing. You ain't no deeper here for you.
That's annoying.
I love
That's
that.
annoying.
I love that. That's so fun for me. I think that's dope.
Stab.
By the way, I apologize to our future children if they're watching this now, imagining their parents having sex. Okay. Avery, you can just shout out to Avery Adams. He says, I don't even know how to provide proper context in this conversation. So Avery would say it is important. And I think everybody would agree it's important, but how important is it? Like, of the things to do in a marriage, how important is it to maintain that sex life? Because there's spending time together, there's managing your finances together, there's planning for the future together, and then there's like having sex. Like, where does that fall into it? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. I don't know. What about the frequency though?
Yeah, the frequency, because like for men, we kind of want it all the time,
Yeah, but I feel like that's not the case though.
Okay.
I feel like that's sort of like not true all the time because like for example, when we were traveling and stuff, we did like have more frequent sex. And now, like, it's still frequent, but you know, I'm also busy with school and you have a lot of work. So, like, yeah, it's harder to like find time to have that time together.
Yeah.
And I don't know, like, and I feel like sometimes you just feel tired and you just want to like maybe lay down and watch a movie or something like that. And I honestly don't think like men want sex that frequently.
Okay.
Is that a wrong like observation?
I think.
Like,
I think.
is it
I
a
think.
daily thing? Like, you want it
I
daily?
think. I think a lot of men. Avery Adams says it should be every day, right? Well, we have to remember like women have their periods too, so you know maybe you can't do it every day, unless you're down for that, and she's down for that. But I'm gonna say that we want it sometimes more frequently than we let on, because sometimes like you could say, "Damn, I'm horny," but I don't want to bother her with this rock hard on. You get what I'm
No,
saying?
don't say that.
You don't
Come
wanna-
to me with that hard thing.
No, because sometimes you know you don't want to. I feel like a lot of men sometimes, you know, if they're in a relationship with their girl, like you know, you want to give it to her, but you don't want to bother her with it, because that thing can you know get hard often, and you don't want to bother her for the third time today with it. You get what I'm saying?
Wow. Yeah, no, I understand, but you should still bother me, because then if you don't, I feel like you're just tired and don't want to do it.
No. It's not tired. It's just you know we have sympathy. You know what I mean?
But I don't know. I feel like for me, like, we or at least have that period where we have like sex every day or something like that, and then there's like that period where it's not that often, because I feel like, at least for me, I need to recharge my body or something like that, you know. So I need to like go like a couple of days without it, just to like, you know, maybe, I don't know, like, for example, like in Turkey and maybe like other places too, it's important that that thing that you miss becomes more important. So sometimes if we don't like have sex for, let's say, 4 or 5 days, and then we have it, it's better.
Yeah.
Or maybe that's just my mind like
Yeah.
playing tricks on
No,
me.
I do think, you know, absence makes the heart grow fonder of something.
Yeah.
So I do think that's true. Like sometimes not having it all the time makes you want it even more. It makes it more pleasurable.
Yeah.
You know, so I think that's absolutely true. But I think, you know, when it comes to that in a marriage, I think it is very important. You know, I don't think it's more important than just spending quality time with somebody. And I don't think it's more important than, you know, making sure you're taking care of your responsibilities as individuals and as a couple. But I think it's up there. Let's jump into the comments. You want to read that?
Yeah. Okay, Avery said, sex doesn't have to be penetration all the time. TMI, sometimes I see my girl in the kitchen and I want to get on one knee for her. That's what I mean by everyday, even any form of physical touch.
That's a very good point. So,
Yeah.
all right, it doesn't have to always, no, don't end the stream.
What do I do?
All right, cancel, yeah.
Okay, sorry.
Just let it fade away. That's a very good point. I like that idea. It doesn't have to always be like penetration. It can be, you know, kissing, making out, you know, oral. It can be, you know, other stuff as well.
Yeah, and I think, okay, maybe that's like something that we can work on too, because, you know, I don't know. Maybe like, you know, it's in the morning, it's like oral for you, and then, you know, a couple hours later, it's my time or something like that.
Right.
You know, you can divide it into spaces and places.
You know, I saw a study that said that scientists say the best time to have sex is in the morning, because that's when you have the most energy, and also like your blood flow down there is like really heavy.
Yeah.
So you'll feel it even better. But it's the worst time in my opinion, because everybody wakes up with morning breath, stuff around their eye.
Yeah.
You know, that slob when you were sleeping and you were drooling, you know what I mean? At least for me, I don't know.
Yeah, same. I feel a bit weird like having morning sex, and I would prefer not to have it like face to face.
Yeah, it's like, let's look this way while we do it.
Yeah. But then sometimes it's cool.
Yeah.
Sometimes not.
Sometimes. If you wake up, get a nice wash in on your face and then get into it.
Yeah.
But I think, you know, in a relationship, you should like try to prioritize your partner, making them feel like sexy and good and stuff like that. Because as you get older, especially in a marriage, like your body is going to change. And like, for me, I should be working out more. I should be exercising more and stuff like that. I'm waiting to get a gym membership here in Hungary. But, when you do have sex, you do feel sexier. You feel better about yourself,
Yeah.
because like you have another person like appreciating your body and like, making you feel good. So I think it's important to do that in a relationship just to maintain that feeling for the other person. What do you
Yeah.
say?
No, definitely. Like, I really do feel confident, like, on the days that we have sex. And then, let's say if I go out or go to class or something like that, I feel more confident and I feel more sexy. And yeah, I feel more appreciated. So it's definitely a confidence booster in that sense. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. All right. So, men, now you know. If your girl's going to work, give her some D before she goes. That way she can walk in the office and feel better. I'm joking. I'm joking. But yeah, how do you feel about this?
Okay, before
comments.
we go there, let's read this one.
Okay.
There's times where my girls want to do things and I'm not in the mood, but after the first year, I realize we are at work. We need to show up even if we don't want to.
That's that's an interesting point. So this is kind of like what we were talking about at the beginning. Like if you're in a marriage, sometimes as a man, you don't want to, put your girl to be pressured to please you all the time. Just because men often get horny a lot. Women get horny a lot too, but
Yeah. We have like periods of times, like, there's the other day I saw a video, there's 4 weeks in a month and there's 4 personalities of a girl that will come out each week. And when we're at that hormonal phase, we're the horniest. So that's when we'll probably want to have like the most sex and stuff like that. And then, for example, the week before our period, it's like the most sort of aggressive period. And that's probably when we don't really want to,
right.
Do that much because we're bloated and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it depends, but yeah. Also, like, I don't know. I don't like to have like sex on my period, but we can do like, other stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe not in the first couple of days, but later.
Yeah. Yeah.
'Cause the first days is just the worst.
Yeah. The periods are very unique times because you're dealing with, extra moods and stuff like that. And, she wants to feel pretty rather than, feel like.
Yeah. I feel like I need a cuddle when Simon has morning wood. So that's like, we clash there a little bit, but yeah.
That's the thing. Like when you're in a marriage, a lot of the times in a serious relationship, you're making compromises for that other person, right? And not just in the bedroom, but a lot of the times, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so, how do you deal with that in a marriage where somebody, wants to do it and you're like, I don't really want to do it. But like Avery said, sometimes you feel like, we're at work, this is a part of the job of being this boyfriend or husband or something like that.
It is.
So
like, I don't know, most of my relationships, and also when we started our relationship, like I'm a big people pleaser. So, I would just I would never say no to my partner. And like I said, like the more time passed, and I don't know if this is like negative or something, but because I feel comfortable with you and I trust you and I feel safe, I feel like I can say no to you whenever like I don't really want to do it, And maybe this is a Turkish thing, but I usually just say no, but I do want it. It's just a mind game.
Listen, that's bad advice. If she says no, that's a no.
Yeah, that's a no.
I'm gonna get some drinks, by the way.
Yeah, just know your girl, because some girls are like that. I'm kind of like that, and I think Simon knows that a little bit. So, yeah, but other times, if they say no, just then take the no, and don't do it.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Just if she says no, let it go. Oh, I forgot the bottle. Sorry. Hey, is there comments? I saw a few comments. Can you read them?
Okay. Let me see. I feel like you miss out on good experiences. There's times where I'm super
in the mood.
Yeah, super in the mood, and she is not, and we don't do anything, and she just missed on an opportunity for her back to be blown out. And that goes both ways. I also implemented that if one person gives oral, the other person has to as well. It has to be equal.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
Sometimes I like doing that. Like I like giving. and not getting it back sometimes. Because,
Yeah.
you know, it's good to please. It's good to please. You're not the only people pleaser here. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
of course.
But yeah, I think, man, a lot of the times if you know how to work it and your girl says no, you're like, oh, I feel bad for you. Because if you knew what I was going to do to you.
No, there
you
are
know?
times we feel the same way, but usually if we propose that, I feel like you guys say yes.
Yeah.
But there are times like you, like how you feel, I feel like super horny and in the mood, and you know, I'm like, I'm gonna do some tricks with my tongue to, you know, whatever. And but then I look at you and you're just off work and you look tired and
Yeah.
you know. So I'm like, okay, like I
Yeah.
guess he's tired and maybe like he's not up to it. So
Yeah.
I'll just like, you know, just let it
Yeah.
slide.
I think that's one of the biggest dangers of not prioritizing, you know, romance and sex in your relationship is just the work aspect. Because so many of us, you know, both partners work 40-hour weeks and stuff like that. You come home tired, or you've been at home all day tired, and you don't feel that energy. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's something that you have to prioritize. So how do you think people should get past that? Should they like put it in their Google Calendar? Okay, this is sex hour on Sunday, 7 p.m., November 22nd. Like, should people do
Wow.
that? Or what
I
do you
mean,
think?
not necessarily put it on your Google Calendar, I guess, but I think planning might help. Like, you know, if you're super busy and you just say like, okay, you know, Saturday night it's just gonna be us. Maybe we'll take a bath together and do something romantic, eat a dinner, and then, you know, we'll get intimate or something like that.
Date night.
Yeah, it's like date night and with a happy ending. And yeah, like, or I don't know, like, because you're tired and like out of energy at that point, maybe you can include something that will pique your interest. I don't know what, like, whatever you're into, like role play or I don't know, toys, whatever, like that's
Right.
you know, grinds your gears.
Grinds your gears. Presses all the buttons.
Yeah, like maybe you can add that to your little like routine.
I think so too. I just think, yeah, planning a date night. And yeah, you can put that on your Google Calendar. But yeah, definitely plan out times to be with your partner and make that special time that will lead up to intimacy. Not just planning intimacy in itself, but
Yeah.
planning special time, a good portion of hours with that person.
Yeah.
And, you know, being open to their ideas about what gets them going too. But that opens up a different can of worms.
Also,
go ahead.
Just another suggestion. I think, like, especially if you're in a long-term relationship or you're married, sexting helps too, I think. Because, like, when you're at work and you're sexting with your partners, it creates that anticipation for when you get home. At least, like, I don't know, like,
yeah.
but yeah, don't jerk off in the work corridor or something. But,
This is
you
the
know.
thing about sexting. Like, every man loves to get nudes. Every man loves that. But like I feel like men have been traumatized by like women saying that they don't like dick pics, that you don't even want to send dick pics.
Honestly.
And also like what's a great way to take a good dick pic? Like there's no way to take like, you know.
The thing is, like, when we send you nudes and stuff like that, we want compliments. We don't necessarily need a dick pic, like,
Okay.
reply.
Okay.
Like, but if there is gonna be a dick pic, it would probably be like, oh, look, like, how you got me. Look how I'm feeling because of your picture. And maybe it's like that.
Yeah.
And that's also like a compliment with a picture,
I
basically.
saw Avery said voice notes. So I think that's good too. Like either text messages, voice notes, like something that, you know, because with women, a lot of the times it's mental. You know, you want to get her mentally in the mood and letting her know how you feel about her and how she, you know, turns you on. So using your voice, using your words, that could be good. More than just dick pics.
Yeah, no, that's definitely like, you know, creating a little like sort of fantasy, like I'm gonna do this or do that when you come home. So then I'm thinking of the time I come home and I want to have sex with you.
Yeah.
Because of all the things that you promised me.
Yeah. All right. So here's the comments here. So, all right. I feel like women sometimes have to be more assertive, but not too assertive when a dude legs in the air. Yo. But assertive when men can still be men. Yeah. Yeah, no. That's the thing, man. A lot of guys wish that sometimes the girl came on to them. you know, because we always feel this pressure that we have to pursue and chase and be the dominant one.
Yeah.
And, you know, sometimes it lifts a little pressure if like she's like, come here, I want it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I definitely like that's something I feel like I need to work on because I definitely play that submissive role. And like I said, I like to say no, even if I don't want to say no. And yeah, that's just something like a part of my personality and also like my culture and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, but I should be
I mean,
assertive sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes because men we like to be that dominant one sometimes. You know, well, most of the time, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it would just help to know that okay, she wants it too. Maybe I'm doing a good job. Because if you're always chasing, you might feel like you're not doing a good job.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, definitely.
So let's get into another comment. Let's see. So Free said, "Hello from Albania, Persian Detje." Let's go into the other comment. So I feel like sometimes, all right, I asked my girl to pay a bill and I'm ready to go. That's what gets me going. When she paid the bills, that gets you going? I guess so. Absolutely. Yeah, sexting is fire. Me and my girl do it all the time. Voice notes. Yeah, I guess we should work on sexting. I feel like, you know, we flirt a little bit in our in our chats on WhatsApp.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of our chat like we have is like a lot of funny memes, jokes,
yeah, but
screenshots.
then we'll occasionally, you know, like that GIF you send me with the cartoon and the booty.
Yeah.
Yeah, like we do have like some sexuality, but it's more like in a funny way, and not like, you know, just overly sexual, basically.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I feel like, you know, it's kind of weird just to send a nude out of nowhere.
Yeah, like.
And then it's sort of like our conversation there doesn't like continue. Like you compliment me, and then yeah, we don't continue from there because you're usually in class, and I'm in class too. So it's just like, yeah, I just wanted to share this with you, and that's it.
Yeah. All right. So does having, you know, intimacy in a relationship change with kids involved? Because we don't have kids, and maybe we don't realize how lucky we have it. Because, you know, we're still kind of young, sexy, fresh, and free somewhat. We only have each other in our family.
Yeah.
But, like, if you have kids in a relationship, does that make it harder, you know, to maintain the intimacy?
I feel like definitely, like, especially the first years, because all I've heard from, like, newly, you know, new parents that they don't sleep. They basically stay up all night, like every day for like the first 2 years or something, because the kid is always crying. So you're like even extra tired.
Yeah. Before
that it was just work, and now it's just like work plus the baby. So it's like you don't have energy for anything. Anytime you get in between when the baby's sleeping, you go to sleep too, because you need a nap.
Right.
So yeah, like I do think that affects like the sex life and that intimacy. But I don't know, like, at the same time, I think being a mother and being a father also is very sexy. Not like, you know, like to me, imagining you as a father is very sexy and makes you sexy to me. Maybe I have daddy issues. I don't know. But that to me is sexy. And I also feel like if I'm a mother and I'm not trying to like sexualize having a kid.
Right.
But, you know, it's just that sort of oozing energy that makes it attractive.
The glow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not only for the mom, but also
and
like for the dads too. So
all right.
I think I would still like want to be sexually active whenever I can, but
it's different because you're putting a lot of energy into making sure the baby is okay and stuff like that. I feel the same way. I think moms are attractive too. You know, I like I like that aura, and I feel like you have that aura and glow already about you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like, I just think it's a lot more pressure on women than it is for men because, you know, they say men gain pounds when they have kids too, just like women. But I think, you know, it's different for women because your body changes. You're going through like the most radical transformation in your body and stuff like that.
I mean, if you really try, you can like recover from like that weight gain or whatnot, like if you hit the gym and things like that. But then again, it becomes harder to do that. And also your body needs time to recover because you just pushed out a human
Yeah.
out of your vagina. So like,
Yeah.
you know, I think it would need like a couple of months to recover
Right.
from that sort of like procedure.
Jamie Foxx has a very good song with Common on one of his albums, and it's about loving your woman after she's given birth, and you know how important that is and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And that song made me realize that that's something. It makes it even more important after your woman has a kid to show her even more love and affection, because a lot of women feel so self-conscious
Yeah.
about their bodies and stuff like that.
Definitely.
Yeah. So I think it's important to do that. But all right, past that early stage of having kids, and your kids are like now 10, 11, 12, whatever age, y'all are all in the house. Like, how do you find time to do that when your kids got, you know?
I don't know. I guess like it also depends on your personality and how sexual of a person you are, because everyone is different. You know, not everyone needs to have sex every day.
Yeah.
But I think at that stage, like as human beings, our priorities kind of shift. And we are still focused on our kids, but we also like in the back of our minds, we're at that stage where we want to give back to the community.
Yeah.
And yeah, but so I think that's why maybe it becomes less frequent. But I honestly, I do want to be like one of those couples who have sex until they're like 80 or something. Because I think it's just like fun to be with your partner in that way.
It is. It is. The thing is, you know.
Not that it's like super important. Sorry.
You know the crazy thing about biology, you know, as men get older, famously our things become less, you know, harder to stay up. You need the Viagra and the Cialis, and it's the reverse for women. The older they get, you know, the hornier they get, and the more likely they are to be, you know, they reach their sexual peak when they're 40. Actually,
yeah, which is so like God's stupid trick.
How is that a
That's
stupid
why
trick?
I'm an atheist.
No, I think that's actually really wise of God, because it's like God allows women to get back on men for all the stupid shit we do when we're in our 20s and
yeah,
30s.
but nobody wants to date a 50-year-old woman.
There are some guys that do, but you know what?
In general, I'm talking on average.
I think it's like women's get back to be like, oh, you wanted to have sex all the time when we were 25. Well, come here, motherfucker. Like, now you just jump on your man and just take that thing.
Yeah,
you know
but
what I mean?
I also feel like I wouldn't want to like, yeah, I wouldn't want you pop in Viagra every night and stuff like that. So yeah, that could be a time to explore something different, maybe toys or something like that.
Oh, speaking of that, man, I forgot to get on this. How do we deal with like stuff that your partner wants to do in the bedroom that you don't feel comfortable with? You know, because like there are things that I want to do with you that you don't feel comfortable with, and things you want to do with me that I don't feel comfortable with.
Yeah.
But there are things that we both want to do that we feel okay with. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so like how should couples deal with that? You know, what's the best way to get over that sort of stuff, you know?
Yeah. I mean, obviously the first step is like very open communication. And it's not like just sitting down and talking about it, but you can talk about it like during that intimate time as well. And I don't know, just like, you know, being open to like trying that out, basically. Even if it's like, unless it's like shit play or something like that.
No,
like,
nothing
super
gross.
freaky and gross.
Yeah, no.
If it's like, you know, acceptable, I guess. Like acceptable. Yeah, I think you should be like maybe down to try it. If it's not super like disgusting or, you know, whatever.
Yeah. I mean, you know, the thing is like you have to be open-minded about it and you have to try it. Because like even the things that I asked you about that I like to do, you at least tried it with me once. And I respect you for that. And because you say no, I at least know that you're not doing it from a place of closed-mindedness.
Yeah.
Like you're doing it from like, you know, it's not just what you enjoy. And that's okay. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I also think like even if you don't enjoy what your partner enjoys, you should do it like every once in a while, like couple of times a year or something like that, or on his birthday or like something, so that, you know, you show your partner that you care and you listen to them. And yeah, it's like basically giving a gift, and it's you know, 1 or 2 times a year, like you can handle it. Like don't be a baby about it. Just do it. If she wants to be tied down, just do it.
Just do it. Just do it. And a lot of the times, like for me, I'm very open minded. Like I'm down to do a lot of things except like butt stuff for me. You know what I mean? Don't put nothing in me. I don't want nothing in me. But everything else, I'm generally cool with. But I think, you know, other things like if your partner is not okay with it, you just gotta sort of live with it. But I do think it can overall, you know, hurt a relationship if the person, you know, really doesn't even want to try it or is even open to it. You should accept it, but you know, the other person has to also understand it can cause negative things in the relationship too. Like if your partner really likes that.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
And that's, you know, I think that's a part of like talking about that sort of stuff before you get married. And this is why I also think it's important for people to be open about their sexuality too.
Yeah.
Like, you know, if you're into furries, if you want to dress up like a, you know, cartoon character and that's your thing, you have to tell that person. You can't wait until 2 years into a relationship.
Yeah, I mean that is true. Like some people do have like sex before getting married, and then once they married, oh now they're into like extreme bondage or something like that, and it's just it's
You have
all
to talk
weird.
about that sort of stuff.
Anyway, so Avery said, Simon, you know what Father Future said about this topic? I'm gonna sneeze. Can you read that?
I ain't got no manners for no sluts. I'm gonna put a thumb in a butt. Yo, Future nasty, man. Future a wild boy. Oh man, I don't take no advice from Future. Future told me if she ever catch me cheating, I'm gonna never tell her sorry. No, don't listen to Future. Future gives bad advice for relationships. But Future, man, is a crazy guy.
Wow.
Crazy guy.
Yeah. And also, I feel like, I don't know. I guess, like, especially after a certain age, like, for example, you had kids and now you're, like, in your 40s or something like that. Maybe, like, you can also try together something different.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Go to a tantric sex massage or something. Because now you've been having sex for, like, 30 years.
Yeah.
And you've probably been doing like mostly the same things. So it would help for that like flame. I would feel like.
Well, let's keep it real. I'm going to keep it absolutely real on this channel. For a lot of men, their fantasy is to have 2 girls at the same time or more and stuff like that. For a lot of guys.
Okay.
And so like how should women deal with that? You know what I mean? The guy still loves his wife. He doesn't want to cheat on his wife or cheat on his girlfriend, but he does want to, you know, get double sloppy toppy and, you know, some men are into that. How should women in marriages or relationships deal with that?
I don't know. Like some women are into that too.
Mm-hmm.
For example, like I don't know, if you're a bi woman and you're married to a guy, but you also want like, you know, some Gucci occasionally.
Yeah.
You know, some women might be down to that, and if that's the case and both parties are happy, like go for it. Have threesomes like every month or something like that. But if you're like a, you know, I guess like a classic type of woman who doesn't like really enjoy it, or maybe you never tried it, or you're worried about yourself or your self-esteem and things like that, I don't know, like, I don't think they should be forced into it, honestly, but if they're willing to try it, they have to have full control of the situation. It can't be like, you know, they have to feel comfortable with the other person who's gonna join. And I also feel like if you're gonna do it that way, then also you should have to do it like 2 guys.
Yeah.
And 1 girl too. Like at least that should be on the table.
Like if you're a man and you're gonna ask your girl to, you know, be in the same room while you sleep with her and another girl, you have to also be ready for your girl to say, well, I want 2 dudes or whatever at the same time. So you can't just be selfish like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It takes.
Yeah. If you're going to be like that, then I'm sorry, but you're not having a threesome.
Yeah.
So.
Unless you're ready for that, because you're asking your partner to share you, somebody that she cares a lot about. So you have to also be ready for that. And so if you're not ready for that, then you can't say you really want a threesome. But I think if you do have that fantasy or that's something that you're really into, then you should definitely like talk to your partner about that. Let them know ahead of time. But also don't let that be the deal breaker for your relationship. Like having certain like fantasies met should not be the deal breaker to being with the person that you say you love, in my opinion. What do you think?
Yeah. No, I do feel like, yeah, that's true. That's like a fantasy, right? So yeah, like maybe you will not get the chance to fulfill your fantasy, or maybe if your like wife is, I don't know, super like large, or I don't know how you say it in English, like super
Like she's a
comfy
big.
with the idea.
Okay,
No,
okay,
no, no.
okay.
Like maybe she'll let you go have an affair. Like one time, two girls, and she's like, "Don't ever tell me about it. Just go and do it since it's your fantasy.
French
I don't want to
style.
be involved," or something like that.
Okay.
Like I don't know, but yeah, like I agree with that. And I also think that if you do want to do something like that for the girls who are kind of uncomfortable with the idea, I think you can start off by like doing maybe like cam sex or something first, like together, and then go do the actual thing. So maybe it's like you'll get a sense that if you like it or not.
I never thought about that, but that sounds kind of weird.
Why not?
I mean, I would be open to trying that, but that would be very interesting. So there's a girl on the other camera, and we're both on the other end of the Skype, just looking down.
Yeah, like it's like we're doing it, and there's a girl on the camera, and she's pleasing herself. So it's like a Zoom call.
That's crazy. That's crazy. How does your mind work?
I just think it's like a good starting point, because it could be pretty like scary. Cause
Yeah, true. Allowing somebody
I
else.
don't like also that, but also like okay, so when you're having like sex just with your partner, you're only worried about them, but then you have a third person, and you have to be worried about them too, like pleasing them, whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, it could be like really intimidating.
Yeah. Yeah. No, definitely, because having one woman, can be a challenge sometimes. And dealing with two of them can also be a challenge too. In the bedroom.
Yeah.
And also the pressure as a woman, like, your man might be attracted to this other woman, that can cause like other things to go on in your mind.
Yeah.
So, it can create problems. It can open doors to a lot of problems.
Yeah. That's why you like also, you have to like pick that person right. And it's so hard because you don't want to know the person and you don't want to be friends with them or anything, but then also you have to trust a stranger, basically.
Avery said, you want to read that comment?
I'm not with the two girls. Imagine two women not knowing what they want. What they want to eat, I'm good. Wow.
I think he's trying to imply like it's hard for women to make a decision. It's a joke.
Yeah.
But then again, all right, but just moving on, like I think overall in your marriage, you should be like trying to maintain that spark. Try to do it as often as you can. But don't put too much pressure on your partner to, always like fulfill all your fantasies and all your needs and your wants, because I think there are more important things to focus on to maintain that spark. There are other things like actually talking to that person, like holding hands with that person. You know what I mean? But being that close and that intimate with somebody is definitely important to maintain that. What do you think?
Yeah, of course. It's like, but it's not like it shouldn't be excluded from the other activities that you do together. It should be part of like the time that you spend together. Like, I don't know, watching a movie at the end of the day, you watch a movie together, but yeah.
Yeah. I mean, often how it works for us is like, I don't know. We have some like impromptu quickies.
Yeah.
But then often, like, I feel like when we do it, it's like after like a day of work, we watch a movie, 12 a.m., something like that. Then right before we go to bed, and we get it in. You know what I mean?
This is weird.
Oh, is this weird? Okay, we'll cut that part out.
No.
I'll cut that part out.
You don't have to, no. But yeah, like,
It's natural for us, I feel like.
Yeah. It's like, sometimes... It's sometimes like that. Sometimes it's like in the middle of the day, like you said, like a quickie or something like that.
It's just because for me, I have like a strange schedule. Like my day doesn't start till like 2 p.m. I'm working until like 12 or 2 a.m. sometimes, and then then I'm free. So yeah. But we're lucky because for us, like I'm home most of the day, and you're the one going out. And it might be different, like if I had to go to work every day from 9 to 5 and come home And
would you have less energy to like create that intimacy?
I think just a little bit less, because like the first thing I want to do when I get home from outside is like take a shower, relax, watch something, chill,
Yeah.
and then get like on top of it.
Wow. That's not. It's not
It's
any
not
energy loss. No.
it's not energy loss.
Okay, so the first 30 minutes.
No, more like the first 2 hours.
Wow.
First 2 hours, I just want to like detox from outside.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So like it's like for you, you have to sort of re-energize
Yeah.
yourself to have sex.
Yeah. Well, just be at the house. You just want to get house energy on you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you just came from outside with all the stuff that's outside.
Yeah. No, definitely.
Yeah. Sorry if this was a weird conversation. Was this weird talking about?
No. Sometimes I think about like, in the future, if I'm, talking to patients all day and things like that, and my mind is like, so intensely occupied during the whole day. And I just imagine myself like, okay, what would it be like coming home, like to you? And, I just think like, okay, how am I going to cope with something like that? Because okay, I have all these people talking to me all day, which is kind of similar to like what you do, but you don't really like listen to their problems, but you still talk with them.
Yeah.
And
I mean, when I'm intimate with you, I'm not thinking about the rest of the world.
Yeah, me neither. So I feel like probably that's also something that I would want later on, just to sort of de-stress myself.
Yeah.
And not in a way like I'm using you to de-stress, but it's more like, okay, so like maybe today instead of talking, we just fuck.
I mean, yeah, because sometimes you just want that. You just want to get that out. It's a good workout too. I also read that people that have sex often usually like live longer. Because it's good cardio exercise. Like a good 15-minute session, can really prolong your life.
Yeah, it's like a HIIT exercise.
Yeah. But there's also men that say that the more you come, you take away like days of your life or something like that.
I don't think that's true.
That's what some men say. Maybe they just tell kids that so that they don't masturbate.
Wow.
I think that's what they do.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay. Well, last question, or I don't know.
Well, we only have like a few minutes left, about 8 minutes. Go ahead.
But what about masturbation? What is the role of masturbation in a relationship? Or is there a place for masturbation?
I think we should have spoke about this earlier, but a lot of the times as a man, you don't want to pressure your girl. You don't want to jump on her for the third time that day. So sometimes you just got to rub one out, And it doesn't mean that you don't love your girl or you're not attracted to her. Yeah. It's actually, you're just like, you know what? Nothing against you, but I don't want to, put that heat on you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you feel bad? Like if I was to do that instead? Or do you think women in general feel bad?
I mean, for me, like in the beginning of our relationship, I felt sort of self-conscious because I saw you watch porn. And that was like, when you see that in my head, at least I went like, oh, so this is the type of woman Simon wants. And obviously like those people or the sex workers in that industry are like, they have insane bodies that you cannot really match. And same with the guys and the girls and all sorts of fantasies and skills and whatnot. Like you can't really live up to that. So that's why like it kind of gets you down. But I think now I'm like at peace with it.
Yeah.
Honestly, like if I'm tired and I really don't want to have like sex, then I would. You can masturbate, like I don't mind.
Yeah.
And you can watch porn and things like that. But at this point, like for me, when I do masturbate, it's not because I'm horny. But well, obviously I'm horny too, but I don't do it to just like jerk off, but I do it sort of to reconnect with my own sexuality.
Yeah. And
so like I don't know.
I'm not gonna lie, like when you tell me that, like I want to be the one to make you I don't even want you to do it because like I'm selfish in that way. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Because I want to be the one to make you happy. But if you feel like that's important for you to do to like feel just whatever you need to feel,
Yeah.
then that's okay. You get what I'm saying? I can't be mad at you doing it because I do it too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And
So
I mean, I don't do it that often.
yeah.
Maybe like once every 2 months or something like
Yeah.
that. And it's like, you have to love yourself before you can let someone love you. That
Yeah,
sort of thing. So
exactly.
it's like I have to please myself first, enable you to please me.
Yeah.
And I have to be in tune with myself. And
Yeah.
that's why I do it basically. Because,
Yeah.
I get that feeling and I'm like, okay, I have to be with myself.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not like a porn addict or a sex addict or anything like that. But sometimes, we could have sex that very same day.
Yeah.
And like, I'm going back to work and stuff like that. And then it's like 4 a.m. And then I feel the urge again, but you're asleep. So it's like, I'm not going to just wake you up with it. Let me just, take care of that myself.
Yeah.
And like you said, you don't take it personal. And you shouldn't, because once again, these are workers. Like, it's just entertainment. It's like, it's not meant to.
I get it. Because,
Yeah.
I watch it too. So.
Yeah.
But I don't know. At the same time, like, I wouldn't want it to be like something too frequent. Like, never,
Yeah.
sort of like let me know that you want to have sex with me and you just sort of like jerk off to it. I wouldn't want it to be something like super frequent.
Right. No, I mean, it's really not that frequent, but
And I prefer not to hear it and see it.
yeah, I mean, I don't do that. I feel like I don't do that.
Yeah, you're pretty good at it. A lot of practice.
But I can say this, like, I would never, like, there are a lot of, attractive porn stars, but I would never in my life ever consider, like, dating a porn star or being with a porn star or a sex worker. That's just my opinion. Even an OnlyFans girl, I wouldn't, no, not for me.
Okay, well, yeah. Obviously, when I watch porn, I don't think about,
Yeah.
oh, what if I was in a relationship with him? Like, no.
I always
it's just
wondered
like a
that.
fantasy.
Do women look at that? They're like, oh, I wish I had a Johnny Sins as my boyfriend or whatever.
I mean, I don't. I don't
Yeah.
know about other women, but
No.
for me, it's just like a fantasy, like
Yeah.
I said. So.
All right, let's jump into the comments real quick. So Avery Adams says, me and my girl recorded our own videos, so she is fine with it as long as I'm watching us. Interesting. That's very interesting. So I never made a sex. No, I made a sex tape, but then I instantly deleted it. Like years ago, I only did like one, and I instantly deleted it because I got scared of my, being out there because my face was all in it and stuff like that, and I didn't want to be on the internet forever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I just generally don't feel comfortable making videos. How do you feel? We've never done it, but how do you feel?
I don't know. Like, I could be down for it as long as it's from a good angle. So maybe like from the back and stuff like that. Like, I don't know. Not like I don't want to see like a close up or anything. But I think it could be like not a regular thing, obviously. And I wouldn't like force you to watch it. Like, you can only jerk off to this. Like, I wouldn't do that, but I think it would be good in terms of like, when you're older and maybe you just watch it and you get like the heat going or something like that.
That's
I don't know, like
hilarious.
it could be used for better purposes later in life or something.
Well,
it's not like you watch it like every night.
But I don't
Like
know.
sort of reminiscent.
Yeah, I get it because like there is some hotness to watching you in your other like good positions and angles and stuff like that. Because sometimes when we're doing it, I'm visioning like third person, like other angles and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's what I do sometimes.
Yeah, me too.
So like, yeah, I can see how making a video could be hot. It's just the danger of it. You created something that could possibly leak or be out there, and
I mean, I have a video camera, and we don't need to upload it to a
well,
computer or
who knows?
anything.
The camera could get stolen. You know what I mean? Like,
Too late.
too late. If your camera gets stolen, that's
Like,
a part of the game.
if I were to make a sex tape, it's gonna be like artistic. So probably
Wow.
like not our faces and just like a good angle.
Wow.
And yeah, like maybe some classic music.
Classical music, masked body paint.
No, not that much, but yeah,
That's
like
crazy.
I don't know, because the thing about that also, like, you know, when there's like a mirror in the room, sometimes I like to watch myself because I look good from like a certain angle, and I'm like, damn, like, you know, and then I get myself going too, and just the overall experience becomes better. So
Yeah.
that's why I thought like maybe seeing that later would, you know, fire up some things.
Avery brought up the point that when this girl is away, you know, he watches them to like remember her and stuff like that. I think that's good too, to like, you know, keep that spark alive when, you know, you're separated from your partner. And that could happen too, because like, who knows what could happen in the future with us. Like, you could be traveling for work, I could be traveling for work, and we might not see each other for like days.
Yeah.
And so that could be a good way to keep the bond going, you know? It's just, man, I don't know. I would have to build up some courage. I would have to.
Me too.
Definitely
I'm
start.
not like comfortable with myself in that way.
No,
Definitely.
I'm comfortable with myself that way. It's just like the courage of, you know, knowing possibly this could, you know, be out there, you know? You know?
Yeah.
So that's the only thing. That's the only thing.
I don't know. Like, it's not a must, so yeah.
It's not a
just
must.
Like, yeah, like maybe one day we would feel like it and just do it. And that's it. Like, yeah.
Definitely.
It's not like a bucket list item or
It's
anything.
definitely not bucket list, but it's something that you want to do. Then we'll do it. If it's something you really want to do, then I would do that, because I'm open to almost anything you want to do.
Yeah, I know. I mean, like I said, it depends on, like, you know, the mood, basically.
Yeah. But
and like I said, I need preparation for it if we're gonna do it, because it's gonna be like artistic.
Yeah.
Maybe storyline.
Yeah. We have to do. I have to act. Do I have to run scripts?
You're gonna be the teacher.
Oh no, not teacher play.
Okay, we'll do patient and nurse.
Patient and nurse. Okay.
It's like 90s porn.
Brown chicken. Wow, wow.
It's like black and white.
Wow, black and white porn. Wow, absolutely crazy. That's crazy. Well, this was an interesting talk. Did you enjoy this live?
I did.
Yeah. Do you like ever worry like the stuff we talk about, like it could like come back and haunt us?
I do worry sometimes because of my future profession.
Yeah.
Because like you as a therapist, you sort of have to keep your private life private so that patients don't like judge on you for that or become untrustworthy.
Right.
But then I'm like, like I'm a person too, and you know, they're not gonna find it unless they like stalk me. Yeah. So like.
Right. I mean, if you ever feel uncomfortable, I mean, I could take down any live you want. You know, don't worry.
No, I mean, I don't feel uncomfortable, and the stuff that we talk about, it's just like fun, and you know, also makes me think of certain things. And like I said, like even if you're a therapist, a lawyer, whatever, like. You're also a human, and you have certain things that you know you prefer and talk about and think about. So it shouldn't take away from your profession.
And I think it is important. I think it is important for like young married couples like us, because we're like so rare. Like a lot of people our age aren't married. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think it's important that we try to put a positive image out there for marriage, but also deal with like some of the real issues related to marriage. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't even have to be a marriage. Like, people go through the same things in long-term relationships. Yeah. People are like, you know, together 7 years, 10 years before they have kids or get married. So
Yeah. And I just hope that, you know, we follow our own advice that we gave here on this channel when it comes to like having sex, making sure our marriage stays, you know, strong and bonded. Because, like, you know, in the future, as we get older and stuff like that, you know, my thing's not going to be as strong. You know, I won't be as sexy. You know what I mean? I'm going to fall apart. But I hope we actually keep that bond. Yeah, you're going to get old, but you're going to, like, age like wine. Like, you know, fine wine. You're going to get finer and finer.
We don't know that.
No, I know that.
Okay.
I see the future. I have good taste.
Okay, hopefully.
But, you know, it's we just got to keep that spark alive. So, anyway, this is a fun live stream. I hope you all enjoyed it. This is our weekly Sunday live stream with my wife. Tune in for other stuff. I'm going to be going live as soon as this channel hits 2,310 subscribers. And right now we're at 2,308. So that's the way we're doing it. I do new uploads, new lives every time we hit a certain subscriber amount. So thank you to everybody who's been subbing, liking. Shout out to Avery Adams. Shout out to Free. Shout out to everybody who's rocking with this channel. Shout out to the 6 viewers who jumped in now. You came in late. We're cutting this short. But catch y'all on the next live. And I love my wife. She's the best. She's smart. She's better than me. She's sexy. And she's mine. And she ain't nobody else's. I ain't sharing it with nobody. Y'all have a good week. Peace.